Let's talk about things I stopped buying in my 20s that made me feel so much lighter. My wallet, my headspace, my physical space, and honestly, my peace of mind. If you've been following my Things I Don't Buy series on Instagram, then you probably have seen my quick list items, but this is just one long form video where we can get into the nitty-gritty of it all. So today I want to slow down, talk in depth of why I stopped buying these things, because it wasn't about being perfect or trying to be minimalist. It was really about unlearning habits that constantly made me feel like I needed to buy more. But first, if you're new here, my name is Crystal and you can call me Chris, and we chat all things mind, body, and planet on this corner of the internet, so I hope you stick around. Let's start with a category that really hit me the hardest. Beauty. The first thing I want to talk about is excess skincare steps. So I say this because anytime you do any sort of like research in the skincare space, specifically on social media, you end up finding creators who are telling you you need vitamin C to brighten, a moisturizer to moisturize, you need to have a serum that locks in the hydration, you need SPF to protect you from sun. And they start like tacking in all of these things like an eye cream or a retinol. You're just feeling kind of confused by the end of your research, thinking, do I really need like an 8 to 10 step skincare routine? And I really fell into the trap of feeling like I did need one. Like I was like, well, these beauty skincare influencers are telling me that this is what I need in order to have like perfect, beautiful glass skin. So I need to buy these products. And I really realized that I do not need that. I used to have like drawers filled with a bunch of skincare products that I did buy because of that sort of influence. And after like a couple of uses, like I just felt like one, they didn't really work for me, or two, I didn't really need it, or it just was like really overwhelming to try to remember each individual step. I stopped using them and then they just started cluttering up my space. At a certain point, I feel like it was too much to the point that like my skin didn't react well. And it took me to actually take a step back and figure out that I don't have to fix what's not actually broken. And once I kind of made that realization is when my skin thanked me and calmed down. Now I just use a couple of staples that are tried and true, and I focus on consistency. Secondly is makeup I never finish. And if you've been following along on my Project Pan series, then you know that there is a lot of makeup that I've been working on trying to finish up. And unfortunately, some of it has expired to the point where it was just kind of wasted money in that sense. I feel like it's really easy to get caught up in beauty trends and buying things because someone recommended it to you and you just assume it's gonna work for you too. And then once you buy it and use it, you realize it doesn't work for you or you don't like that product. And it's also really easy to fall into the trap of like, well, this product is on sale and I know I like this lipstick color. So then you just buy 10 lipstick colors all in the same shade, and then you realize, okay, this is taking up a lot of space in my house. So once I started to pare back what kind of makeup I was actually buying and actually focus on using the products I already had on hand, I realized that I was buying products in a way of trying to like become a new person or like be a new me. And that's not really what happens, right? Like you just buy a new lipstick shade. It's not like a new you. That's a little bit more inner work. It's not as simple as just buying a new makeup routine to feel like a different person. The third thing that I totally ended up just ditching, no more, no mas, is disposable beauty products. And what I mean by that is like makeup wipes or like single-use face masks that are super popular right now. I just stopped buying those because I realized what I like about those products, I could still do in a way that doesn't produce as much waste. For taking off my makeup, I use reusable cotton rounds, or like a makeup eraser is one that I always go back to because you don't actually need like a makeup remover solution. It's just you get it wet with normal sink water and you can use that to take off your makeup. And for face masks, I end up just buying a full jar where I can use the jar little by little instead of just a bunch of like disposable face sheet masks that who knows if those even do anything anyway. Honestly, it's cheaper. So my wallet is thanking me at this point too. Next up, fashion. Ooh. And yeah, this one was a really big learning curve. I stopped buying fast fashion impulse buys. You know the ones like when you go to the store and you see something that you like on the hanger, you buy it, maybe you try it on, maybe you don't try it on, and then you get home and you realize it doesn't match anything you have in your closet, or you try it on and it doesn't even fit you very well. You tell yourself you're going to return it, but it never ends up happening. I know that story very, very well because I've been in those shoes. Like I I used to do that all the time. So instead of just buying things because they're trending or because they're on sale or cheap, now I ask myself, is this something that I will wear in my closet at least like 30 times? If not, it stays on the rack. Second thing was always buying an outfit for a special occasion. Not every dinner out requires a brand new outfit. You can rewear pieces or rework pieces you already have in your closet. There's no need to feel like I have XYZ event, so I need a new dress for that, or I need a new pair of shoes for that. Like that's kind of where things get a little bit crazy. Or like think about like vacations. I always see hauls of people who are saying like, oh, I'm going on a beach vacation. Here's everything I bought for it. And I look at those hauls and I'm like, are you gonna wear any of that stuff when you're not on your vacation? And chances are no. They're probably buying it for the vacation and then they're not gonna wear it again. And then they're gonna get home and realize, oh, I just wasted a bunch of money on this stuff I wore once. And then that ends up getting donated. It's a vicious cycle. Vicious, really. And it took me a long time to realize that it's not normal to always buy something new for every little thing. I think it's normal if you're like, find a gap in your wardrobe and you realize you always want a specific white t-shirt and realize you don't own a white t-shirt. That's kind of different, but just always buying like something new for every little thing is not normal. So I stopped doing that and I feel a lot better and I love my closet a lot more. Plus, rewearing outfits is cool, sustainable. No one remembers even what you wore in the first place. And if I really am itching for something new, I try to see if I can rent it. There's so many different online platforms like Newly or Rent the Runway, or you can always ask your friends if there's something that you can borrow from their closet to wear for a special occasion. Third for fashion that I stopped buying is excessive dupes, or like buy this, not that, because it's cheaper. And I say that because a lot of times when you see really expensive pieces of clothes and you're like, wow, I really want that, but it's $200 for a pair of boots, you end up opting for maybe a dupe of that where it's like the $30 pair of boots instead of the $200 pair of boots. But what I've found is every time I buy the dupe of something, I always end up wishing I just bought the more expensive item. Either the cheaper option isn't as good of quality, or it smells weird, or it's not the exact same that I pictured wearing in my head. And I would have a better time if I saved up the money and invested it in a more expensive piece of clothing that's gonna last me a lot longer. And honestly, the dupe culture that's really popular just feeds into overconsumption because you buy the dupe or the cheaper option of something and it's not gonna last you as long. It just isn't. Like it never really is gonna last you as long. So then you're kind of back in that cycle of constantly repurchasing items because what you bought originally doesn't, it's like not doing what it needs to be doing. You know, what's that phrase that's like really popular right now? Buy it twice, cry twice or something? It's something like that. Then there is the home stuff, because it's really easy to fall into the trap that your home always needs to look like it came straight out of a magazine or off of a Pinterest board. Super timely right now, but decor for every season. Yeah. Falling into that trap is really hard because you constantly feel like there's always a new like trending aesthetic for every holiday. And then you fall into the trap of, well, I need more garland. I need a different color ornament in order to reach that sort of goal. And when you buy a bunch of cheap decorations, it comes across as cheap and again, just doesn't last as long. And you ultimately end up falling into like the trendiness cycle where the following year, if you didn't love it to begin with, then you're like, well, I don't want to put this back in my house because it's not, I don't like it anymore. If you go for like the more timeless things or you buy the more quality pieces, those are gonna last you year to year that you can eventually pass down in your family, right? I also feel like decor doesn't have to necessarily be like specifically that season's decor. You can get like similar vibes using things you already have. So like for fall decor or like Christmas decor, you don't have to buy the specifically like Christmas themed candle. I think you could just light a regular candle and it gives the same effect. Same thing with like fall decorations. I feel like people are like, oh, I need to put like a bunch of cozy fall stuff in my house. But in reality, you could just swap out a blanket or two that's actually functional and it gives you the same look. So what I do now is instead of going off and buying a bunch of decor for every single season, I just use what I have. And a lot of times I actually try to bring stuff from the outside inside. I find that that's really fulfilling and kind of crafty, being able to find acorns, find leaves, maybe get like sticks and twigs and be able to like make stuff out of it. Or even like dried oranges, getting some from the grocery store and then drying them yourself, throwing them on some twine and hanging those up around your house. I feel like there's a lot of options here that doesn't have to be like cheaply made holiday decor. Now, this isn't necessarily like home decor, but it does fall into the home category, but single-use cleaning products. So my house used to go through so many paper towels. Like, I'm talking, it was crazy the amount we were going through. And was it all on me? Probably not, because my man uses a lot of paper towels. But I feel like after a while, I started to realize like how wasteful it is. I get it, it's just paper, like it doesn't feel like it's that much, but it was really starting to fill up our trash cans. So instead, what I started switching to is a Swedish dishcloth and using more reusable rags when I'm cleaning. So a Swedish dishcloth is like by far my favorite swap I've ever made. It's literally saved me so much money on paper towels. But also when cleaning other spaces in my house, like just use a rag. Like that's what they were made for. I'm not sure what happened, like when people just started using paper towels instead of rags, like we should be doing. But I feel like it took me a second to be like, oh wait, I don't have to use paper towels. I can use reusable options when it comes to cleaning. Same thing with like Clorox wipes and things like that. Like I get the convenience of it all, but I don't feel like we need that sort of convenience all the time. You get the same end goal by using reusable rags and a cleaner that comes in a bottle. Same thing. Last but not least, under the home category here is a bunch of knickknacks. Man, I am a knickknack queen. I love a little trinket. You can tell by the shelves behind me, like I love to collect stuff like that. But at a certain point, I think I started to realize it was becoming way too much, because I realized that the more trinkets and the more knickknacks I start adding to my collection, it ends up just being more stuff I have to clean and more things that just get dusty because they're sitting around. I'm not trying to make my life harder than it already is or clean more than I have to. So I realized just by cutting back on trinkets, you know, and just being intentional with what I'm gonna bring into my house, I've realized that it allows my space to breathe a little bit more, and I feel a lot less overwhelmed by visual clutter being everywhere. Last but not least, digital and mindset is the last category here. This is the less obvious stuff in the series, but it's more so what I stopped like buying into mentally. The first one is the idea of needing to keep up all the time. And this one was huge. I stopped buying things to try to fit an aesthetic or to feel enough or to try to fit in. And I remind myself that living slower and simpler is way more fulfilling than constantly feeling like you're running in the rat race, you know, trying to feel like you're always one step above or one step before everybody else. Like it's not fun to feel like you're constantly trying to be in the trend cycle. It's more fun to have your own style and have your own life and focus on those pieces that actually make you happy rather than comparing yourself to other people and what other people are doing. Simpler living is success, if you ask me. Number 2 is productivity tools overload. Oh my gosh, especially when you reach the end of the year, I feel like people are just promoting planners, buy this planner, get this goal sheet, use this journal. Like it's too much after a while. And then once you kind of start to buy into all the productivity stuff that is being touted and like promoted and marketed to you, you kind of realize like they're all a little bit the same, one. And two, you never actually end up using them to the degree you think you are going to use them after you buy them. And it's never really like a fix-all for what I needed to do. So now I just use systems that I know work for me. Usually I focus on Notion. I have my own journals and my own thing, which by the way, I do have a few of those which you can grab on my website because they're helpful for me. So I thought maybe they'd be helpful for you guys as well. I'll link that below. So I use those simpler systems and I let go of all the rest. Like I'm not the kind of person that's gonna fall for everybody and their mother telling me I need a specific journal if I know that journaling is not something that I have been historically good at consistently doing. And last but not least is fix yourself purchases. We can't buy ourselves into self-worth. Like it's not gonna happen. So I try to buy things that support who I already am. What are the things that actually bring me joy in my life? What are the things that I actually find useful? Not things that I think I should buy because it's who I'm supposed to be, you know, and I say that in quotes. So those are a few things that I stopped buying in my 20s and a couple of the things that I've learned along the way. Now I'm not perfect at it, but every small shift has really made my life feel a little lighter, slower, and more intentional, which feels really good. I'd love to know what you've stopped buying or what habit you've changed to make your life simpler. So drop it in the comments. I think it's going to inspire some people scrolling through. So thank you for spending time with me today. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Makes YouTube super happy. And if you want to see more, you can subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.